I'm with Manuel Kohnstamm, who's SVP and Chief Policy Officer at Liberty Global and President of Cable Europe. Manuel, with your Cable Europe hat on, looking at the digital single market, how do you see that evolving and what would you like to see come out of it?
Well, first and foremost, I think a continuation of the current policies that were set in motion with the telecom single market, a deregulatory agenda, a focus on growth, innovation and investment. And the DSM is supposed to bring all those principles to the electronic services market to ensure that any remaining barriers in the traditional industries are being lifted and that we create this strong single market space for the digital single market. And we think that our company, other cable companies, and the whole digital ecosystem will benefit from that.
Do you think there's now a kind of level playing field in a regulatory sense between cable and telecom operators, and cable can now compete on a fair way to be a provider of infrastructure-based competition?
Yes, absolutely. I think cable has proven its worth in the past decade. At the same time, the boundaries are blurring. We're buying, cable companies are buying mobile companies are buying cable companies. You see more fixed mobile convergence happening in many countries. But I absolutely think that most regulators and policymakers now recognize the value creation from true facilities-based infrastructure competition. I mean, that is a significant shift from the thinking about 10 years ago.
From Liberty Global's perspective, you operate across Europe, including in the UK. The UK has now voted to leave the European Union. What impact is that going to have on you? What are you planning? How do you see the situation evolving?
It's sad to see such a divided country, and I think that's something that we feel sorry for. But on a day-to-day basis, for my company, we don't see an immediate impact on our business operations. We are making lots of provisions for dealing with any kind of situation. Don't forget, we have operations in Europe, both inside the European Union and in a country like Switzerland, for instance, where we have quite significant operations. The Virgin Media operation is very healthy. It's growing in a very strong way. We're investing. We have announced this 4 million household kind of new build project for the coming 4 years, investing about £3.5 billion UK pounds. That is a significant kind of a project that is on track and is well on track. So no immediate impact, of course. There will be adjustments needed, and we'll see how that plays out. But in the end, we still have to see what's really going to happen, and I think a lot of the industry is still waiting for that.
Liberty Global has been involved in consolidation and is involved in consolidation on an ongoing basis. Do you have a sense that the regulatory environment is now favouring consolidation more or less than previously, both in the sense of cable operators coming together and also cable and mobile consolidation?
It's very much, as you probably witnessed, a very fact-based process that we go through with competition authorities, particularly in the European Union, of course, for the larger transactions, but also for smaller transactions with local competition authorities. Very fact-based. It's a lot of economic evidence that changes hands between the prospective merging parties and the competition authorities. I must say, that is an increasingly rational process as well, and sometimes tough discussions, but in the end, and you've seen a number of transactions that we cleared in the past 2 or 3 years with some set of remedies to overcome any theories of harm that the competition authorities dealt with or came up with. We don't see insurmountable problems. Of course, we would always like to see these things happen perhaps a bit less complicated and a bit faster, because I think that's the one message that I keep explaining to my counterparts in government, is that this industry is developing so quickly. The disruption in technology and in new market players is so fast that you cannot really afford to take about a year or 9 months for kind of competition clearance. So speeding up these processes is very often an element of the agenda.
One of your recent acquisitions has been Cable and Wireless Communications in the Caribbean. Can you give us an update on that and also how it fits into your wider Latin American strategy?
Very excited about it. It's a great opportunity. It's a high growth company which we are combining with our existing Latin American assets in Chile and Puerto Rico. To form what we call Liberty Global Latin America, a new kind of powerhouse in the region, set for further consolidation in that region, with significant growth levels, double-digit growth we've seen there, and so we're actually looking to replicate some of the growth and acquisition story that we've been able to succeed with in Europe, and to do that in Latin America as well.
Finally, cable has a great infrastructure, but possibly fewer financial resources than telecom competitors. How well placed do you think cable is to compete with the bigger telcos, both fixed and mobile?
I think it was mentioned here today, kind of a big supporter of our industry are the laws of physics. The laws of physics, which have created this incredible capacity on the HFC, the hybrid fiber cable coax systems. We're launching with DOCSIS 3.1, or Gigasphere as it's now named, up gigabit speeds all over Europe in the not too distant future, and that means that we are uniquely positioned in the competitive fight with incumbents. Mobile, of course, is an important element of the mix, increasingly so. You see that's why you see a number of companies buying into mobile, or as Liberty Global does, also kind of having tactically well-positioned MVNO contracts, because our customers in the end don't care how they get their signal. They want to be connected and on the go, or whether it's at home or on the go. With a combination of these kind of mobile connections, Wi-Fi at home, Wi-Fi hotspots, and kind of the home kind of broadband connections, I think we're well positioned to give that service.
Can you tell me what you think about Cable Congress as an event, and also particularly how this year's edition has gone?
It's been great. It's been great to be here in Warsaw, which is Poland is a vibrant cable market with lots of things going on. Every year, people come together, network, get to meet each other, have useful exchanges on marketing. We have also just recently merged Cable Europe with C10 Europe. Cable Labs is here in force, and so you see a very active kind of exchange of ideas and thoughts and ways to address the market. I think continues to be a very, very useful event for everybody to go.